Hi guys! I finally found the time to sit down and do my birth story, so I am very excited to relive that again with all of you, and also just so I can remember it for the rest of my life because it was really beautiful. I was a person who always knew I wanted to try hypnobirthing, but I didn't want to be going to the classes or spending a lot of money. I thought that I'm headstrong enough to be able to do it myself, so I downloaded on Kindle a book called the Hypnobirthing book, and I also was listening to some hypnobirthing tracks from like an app. So when I get to the end of this, I'll say how much I think they contributed to how well everything went. But yeah, I'll get started with my birth story. So it was a Saturday night. I was 37.5 weeks pregnant, and I was out at dinner with my family. Now, I was so adamant that he was coming. As soon as it was 37 weeks, I was like, "You can come now, baby. I can't wait to meet you." And I just had a feeling that he would be here before 40 weeks. I don't know. Anyway, I was getting like intense period pains at the table, and I actually didn't really think that much of it because they kind of felt like the Braxton Hicks, or like the tightening of your stomach, but maybe it was hot. I don't know. I just kept on breathing, and I was like, "Oh, gosh, it's hurt." Didn't say anything to anyone. I get up to pay for the bill and my waters broke. So here I am like paying, and I just feel, and I feel it trickling down my leg, and I'm like pay waving. I'm like, "Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up." So anyway, I like turned to my family. I quickly walked out the door and I'm like, "Guys, my water just broke." And they were like, "What? What? What do you mean?" And I'm like, "Yeah, they broke. Like, look at my pants. Like, I'm soaking." Like, "What do we do?" Like, kind of calm, but kind of freaking out. Like, "Oh my God, like, really? Already?" So anyway, this night Hayden was out at the casino. He was the only one not there. So I call him so ecstatic, just like, "Babe, you'll never believe it. My waters just broke." He's like, "Oh my God, like, what do I do?" So I said, like, "My mum will take me to the hospital, so can you just leave now and meet us there?" So anyway, my mum and dad take me home. I get my bag, which was already packed, and I head to the hospital, and yeah, Hayden's meeting me there. So when we get there, he's like just over the moon, like stoked. Like, he left all of his friends and was like, "Stacey's water just broke." So like, he got to tell quite a few of his friends like at that moment. So that was really exciting. So yeah, I go in, because when your waters break, they have to just check to make sure that like when they broke there wasn't any, I forget the real word, but like the baby hasn't pooed. So they have to just make sure of that, and that check that the baby's heart rate was okay and that he or she was not in distress, because we didn't know what we were having actually. So yeah, went, everything was fine. They were like, "All right, go home. If you haven't given birth within the next 24 hours, you need to come back because we need to check you again. We might need to give you antibiotics." So I'm like, "Okay, like, it's happening, it's happening." So we go home, we hop into bed like normal, and it was probably about 10:30 that we got home. And at just after midnight, I started having contractions. And yeah, I was on my side, and it was so uncomfortable. I was like, "Oh my God, I'm getting out of bed, just leave Hayden to sleep." So it was perfect timing actually that he at least got to have a sleep, but poor me. So yeah, I head downstairs, and at first, like, the only way I could get comfortable was like maybe leaning over something. And then I decided to like just go on the toilet because I could just like breathe and like move my back. Anyway, they got as close as 6 minutes together, and then I think the sunlight came up and they started going backwards. It started going to 12 minutes. So all that day really, I spent the day on the couch. Every 12 minutes I would like go to sleep, and then my position became on all fours on the floor. So I'd be like on the couch and I just roll onto the ground and just start breathing, breathing, breathing. So this is when my hypnobirthing just kicked in. I just knew that it was gonna come up like this and then go down. So it pretty much was like a whole minute, and you just kind of go 30 seconds, you're like building up to it. And in my head, like I would think of like, they'd say like good things for you to picture. So I actually pictured colors. So I pictured like pink, and then it would go to red, and then it would come down, back down to pink and like mellow. So yeah, really just breathing for 30 seconds, and then you can know that after like 30 seconds, because I also have my phone right on the ground with me, I would time them so I could know that I could get through it and that it was coming down soon. So yeah, I did that all day, and they pretty much say 12 minutes apart until we then had to go to the hospital. So we start going to the hospital, and they tell you like when you're in labor, like when you start heading to the hospital or go somewhere unknown that like you're not comfortable with, your body may slow down because yeah, you're not feeling safe. So yeah, I hopped in the car, and they really started deteriorating from there. I got to the hospital, and they were probably every half an hour, which I was so thankful for, because I was not looking forward to having contractions in the car. It was just so uncomfortable. My position was on all fours, so I would have had to like be in the back seat, no seatbelt or anything. And there was like a lady in the waiting room too who was really having a rough time, and I'm just sitting there like, oh, thank God, might have slowed down, thank God, because I do not want to be her like on the floor screaming in this waiting room. So anyway, when I get there, obviously they're like, spontaneous labor normally happens within 24 hours. It's been 24 hours, so we're thinking that you should be induced. And at that time I was like, oh my God, no. I was all set for a water birth. That was my dream. And I really didn't want to let go of it. And also just, I had heard such scary things about induction, that it was hard and fast. And I was like, no, I don't want to do it. So I think as like hesitant and impatient as Hayden probably was, he wanted to meet him or her already. He was so lovely and just said, it's my decision, and he was happy if I wanted to keep going. So that was really nice, because he didn't like try to lead me in any direction. So we went home. That night, as soon as I got back home, they were 12 minutes apart again until the sun rose in the morning, and they were completely gone. I was so devastated. I was trying everything. I like had my Clarisage on. I put like Hypnobirthing on and went into a quiet dark room. I was just like, come on, come on, come on, come on. I was messaging like my friend that does acupuncture and just like, do you think it will help me? Anyway, I decided to stop being so stubborn, and as they were totally gone away, I was like, okay, we need to go to the hospital a bit sooner, see what they have to say. So we get there. Obviously they check you again, make sure that there's nothing scary happening with the baby, and they were like, okay, Stacey, like it's almost coming up to 48 hours. You should get induced. I was still so hesitant. Hayden was still on my side about just doing whatever felt comfortable for me. But yeah, I decided to go along for the induction at 48 hours because they had really completely stopped, and they were like, I don't think your body's like gonna get to that stage again. And yeah, I really wanted to meet him or her by then. And like, come on, I'd been in labor for like, it was all Sunday and it was now Monday. So coming up 48 hours. So anyway, Hayden went down and they were like, you better have something to eat. So Hayden went and got us a snack, and luckily I had brought my bags every time. They were just gonna set us up a room, and yeah, we went into the room. And I might need Hayden's help to tell this because I always forget like how many milliliters, and this part gets really interesting. All right.
We can't both sit on here.
Yeah, we can. Both, anyway. There's 3 of us.
Jesus.
This little gremlin just woke from his nap.
Oh, you're already starting.
Yeah.
I'm going to get rid of this pillow, mate, because I took notes. I took notes.
This joyous occasion.
But yes, carry on.
Alright, so I went, they got me a room and I was going to be induced, and what did they give me?
Oxytocin.
Yeah,
is that right?
Oxytocin, that's it. And how much did they give me?
4.9 mils.
Which is teeny tiny. It's like tiny little drops.
That's all she needed.
Yeah.
And 4 and 9 are my favourite numbers, so it worked. We're in room 25, which was my brother's birthday. No, we weren't.
Oh,
We're in room 16.
that's my dad's birthday.
And it's 4 times 4. But after Nelson was born, we were in room 25.
Oh, there you go.
So yeah.
That's cute. I didn't know that. Anyway, so yeah, I was just saying that I got given the oxytocin and not very many milliliters, and it was 6 o'clock when I was given that, right?
Just after. It was like 6:15.
Yeah. And then it all started really... Well, it went like... It did start slow.
Instant. It was instant.
Oh, okay.
It was
That's
like...
what I remember.
It was like oxytocin in, and then there was probably 5 minutes where we were like, okay, this is going to happen now. And then just like flick of a switch, she was going.
Having contractions.
Yeah, contractions all the time.
Oh, what were we supposed to call them anyway? Surges. That's what they say in hypnobirthing. I don't think we use that at all though. Nelson loves this light. That's what he's looking at. So cute.
We should put it up over here.
Look at the camera. That's how we get him to take nice photos.
There he is.
Oh. No, it's still on.
Oh.
Oh, cute. That's how we need to take our family portraits.
Yeah.
Put it back. So cute.
Oh, he's a goose.
Yeah, okay, so it obviously started really quick. I feel like I was having my normal contractions though for a little bit.
There
like,
you go.
I wasn't like an animal straight
Oxytocin from 6:20.
away. Yeah. But I feel like I wasn't too crazy straight away, right?
Nah.
Yeah.
But like your contractions were, 30 minutes apart at the start.
Yeah, I know.
And then as soon as you got the oxytocin, it was like, it reduced quite quickly, that time in between.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, okay. I forgot to mention that when we went in there, she was like, oh, I need to like break the rest of your waters. Far out. Filming with a baby? Who does it?
You spewed everywhere.
Oh gosh. Alright, back to what I was saying. So when I got in there, she said, I need to break your waters first and see how dilated you are. And thank God I was already 5 centimeters dilated and my cervix had already begun to thin. So all of the labouring that I had done at home had already contributed. So I was already kind of halfway there.
2 days worth.
Yeah. So yeah, it all began and it got pretty like hectic pretty fast, and all I could do was like breathe. In the Hypnobirthing tracks and app that we have listened to, like I had gotten Hayden to listen to the things, but it said things like that he was supposed to say to me, like, all right now, deep trance. He was like, am I really gonna say this to you?
It's like words that are meant to trigger her to like sort of focus and breathe.
Yeah.
And things like that. But every time she was having a contraction, if I touched her or pretty much like spoke to her, asked how she was doing, she did not like it.
Yeah, so I don't know if I even had have done like the hypnobirthing classes and they would have told him to like massage me or talk to me, I probably would have like slapped him and said shut up. So I'm really glad I didn't pay for those classes. So if you're one of those people that you think like if you're in one of those situations and you don't want to be touched or have someone who is not or is never going to be in labour telling you what to do, then you probably don't really want to do, like, hypnobirthing is good, but I think all I needed to do was breathe. I was supposed to like look up to the top of my forehead and picture the word sleep, and I did not do that at all.
Yeah.
So
I guess it's more like you just gotta try to teach yourself to stay calm, because
Yeah.
it's quite intense.
yes.
So she was awesome, and we had 2 really good midwives. Like, when there were moments when she's just like screaming, and I was like, I've got to do something or say something, but I had no idea what to say, because obviously I'm a guy, not going through it, but the midwives would say like the exact thing that she needed to hear.
Yeah.
They like sort of told her to harden up and keep going.
They pretty much were always just like, Stacey, breathe. Stacey, breathe. Breathe.
Do a poo.
Breathe. They did not say that.
No, but they said to push like.
Yeah, they did. So they did start really quickly. I was on all fours and I would like smash my head into the pillow because I was already 5 centimeters dilated. So I was in, like, it was painful. But I don't know, it's just like mind over matter. Like, you just do what you have to do. So I was like making all kinds of noises. Hayden says he didn't know if he was to like laugh or cry. I was like at one point and screaming.
She's on all fours, making noises that can't be repeated. Like, you don't know where they're coming from, whether she's like possessed or
Possessed.
she's in like crazy pain. And one time she's just like I was just like, what is going on here? But and those were the moments when I'm like, holy crap, like, what do I do?
Yeah.
What do I say?
And like, if you didn't do or say anything.
They were just all over it.
You were right next to me the whole time on the bed, and I knew he was there, so that was just felt comforting enough that you were there and you like understood what I was going through. That's what I liked. But yeah, it all happened so quickly, and like before I knew it, she was saying to me like, I heard her say to Hayden, do you want to get out a nappy? And I was like, what?
Their names were Alicia and Lavinia.
Oh, that's nice.
The Gold Coast Hospital. They were our 2 midwives.
Really good. And then a little bit after that, they said to me, do you want to look in the mirror? And I was like, why? And then she's like, we can see the hair. And I'm like, what? Already? So it was so crazy. And then finally, like, once she had said that, and I was like, why are you asking me these questions? Like, is the baby coming soon? And she's like, yeah, real soon. And then she's like, and I'm like, can I start pushing? She's like, yeah, start pushing. So as soon as she let me push, like all of the air just like, all of the noises I was making, like I could just release them, like I could breathe better because I knew that it was all happening. So I feel like after that it was just like, then the kind of hypnobirthing came in where like you just read in the book, like it reiterates that it's such a beautiful time and you should just imagine like your downstairs area being a flower and this beautiful like butterfly coming out. So yeah, I just got excited to meet him or her then. I didn't even remember that we didn't know what it was. And yeah, so I got induced at what, 6:20?
6:20.
And
the head was showing at 8:25.
Yeah.
And then born at 9:01 p.m.
There you go.
And that's why we had 2 midwives, because Alicia was finishing her shift
exactly at 9.
At 9 o'clock.
And he was at 9:01.
Yeah, so that was
on
cool.
the 9th of July. Hayden's born on the 4th of November and he's born on the 9th of July. So there's Hayden's 2 favourite numbers, 4 and 9 again.
Yep.
And it was just beautiful. He came out into the world and she put him underneath me, and I just remember like looking down and just being so emotional, and she just said, look what you had, because at that point I actually hadn't even thought about it. I think I just said, oh my god, it's my baby. And then she's like, yeah, look what you had. And I was like, it's a boy. And then like a few seconds later it registers and I'm like, it's Nelson. Like thinking it's always been Nelson in there. How beautiful is that? So yeah, it was lovely that like she didn't announce what it was. We just got to discover it for ourselves, and I just picked him up and flipped right over and put him straight on my chest. And I don't know, what were you doing? Crying?
Oh, no, like, because she was on all fours, and yeah, like once the head came out, it was just the old, like, it's like a quarterback getting the guy giving him the ball. She just like pretty much grabs him out, and then he just slides on out, and then she just like put him underneath Stacey's lap, tummy, because she was on all fours. And then the first thing I seen was his doodle.
Baby.
Yeah, and so I knew he was a boy. I didn't say anything, and then my first thought was just like, I wasn't afraid to be a dad, because as soon as the midwife put him down, Stacey like just grabbed him. It was just like one arm grabbed him and rolled over onto her back and like just had him on his chest. And like for me to see that, it was just like, you know, like it was natural. I knew that she was a mum and now I was a dad, and it like took my fear away just seeing her like grab him for that first time, because he's so worried because he's so little and fragile. You're just thinking like, how are you going to do this stuff? But yeah, when she first picked him up, that's when I was like, awesome. I can do this.
That's so nice.
That was, yeah, my first memory. And then we had our photos, cut the cord, and
my placenta wasn't coming out, so that
that was probably the scariest bit out of all of it, because you know the midwife called in like the head nurse or whatever, and
I had been given an injection to try and help it out, because we let the placenta stop pulsating so he could get all of the nutrients. And then obviously by that time my body, it already wasn't contracting on its own, so they gave me the needle that's supposed to help, but it didn't. So they were like, we need to get this out, otherwise you need to go to theatre. So that was like another almost an hour trying to get the placenta out. But we got it in the end. It was all good, and he was absolutely fine and beautiful and healthy. And
while she was getting the placenta out, little fella was on my chest.
Yeah, having tummy time.
And he's wiggling and he was trying to get my boob, and I was like, sorry buddy.
It's not me. He would have to wait until I got the placenta till he had boob.
You fed him.
Sorry, I take so many videos of Nelson that I ran out of recording space. So the hubby confirmed that I did get to feed Nelson before they had to take him away to get my placenta out. So that was awesome. He latched straight away. He was so good. So yeah, he got fed, and yeah, it all went really well. Like, yes, it was intense pain, but I feel like I handled it really well for being in labor for so long. And like just the breathing and knowing that it was coming, and then I was gonna get a break was honestly just a lifesaver. Like I knew I could do it. So yeah, I feel like hypnobirthing, I don't really know if it was my thing, just because they get the partner really involved, and I don't know, I just wanted my peace and quiet, be in my own little zone, not be touched, and just work on breathing. So I don't know, not bagging hypnobirthing at all, but yeah, it was just not, I didn't want that to be an option for me. It was just a bit too much money, and yeah, I'm really headstrong and feel like I can do things on my own, and yeah, that was a pretty intense situation. So I feel like next time I'll be prepared, and hopefully I can have a water birth next time. That would be nice. But yeah, I came out of it tear free. I feel so lucky. My midwife was amazing. Like as I was pushing, she was like pushing her thumb right in between the butt and the vagina, just so I didn't tear, with like a warm cloth. And so obviously she did an amazing job, and I pushed at the right time. Just yeah, I felt like only when she told me I could push, I started pushing, which I don't think I should have like held it in, because that's probably why I was making such horrific noises. But it was good to only push obviously when they tell you to. And yeah, Hayden just said to also mention, like, we wanted to get out of there straight away, but it was such a good idea that we stayed for 2 nights. The second night when he was cluster feeding, like, I was so tired, and it was so nice to be able to just ring like the little buzzer and have the midwives come in and help with your latch. And yeah, he really didn't want to be like in the bassinet right next to my bed, so she like set me up for him to sleep right next to me with like my hand under here, and the blanket like really tight across me so I couldn't roll onto him, which I was totally like against and so scared of at the start, but I was exhausted. I had to sleep, so it was amazing to have their help. And yeah, there's honestly nothing I would do different. It was amazing. And yeah, us women are so strong. So anyone who is scared, or my sister started looking at bloody pictures all over Instagram, she's like close-ups, and I'm like, Shirley, don't even worry about it. Like, you're not going to see your vagina go. It's just what has to happen. And yeah, if you just remember that like they're going to come and they're going to go, and you're going to meet your beautiful baby soon, you'll hopefully make it through and be fine. But yeah, it's all up in here. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and bye. I'll see you next time.